Ade, you work in many different types of styles with your art. How does your sensual work, like you did here, relate to your work overall?
You know, my sensual explorations have been going on for several decades. I've always um, believed that the beauty of the body, the whole idea of sensual interaction between Homo sapien mammals, is essential to good health. And so it becomes a very special part of my work. I work in a number of mediums, but the essential work is almost like a very special suite. And to be quite frank, very few people have seen the work. It's many of my works are still in the original pads, and I envision that now that we're in the 21st century, I'm planning maybe this gigantic show one day of showing my explorations over the decades.
It's interesting to me that you use the word explorations when you describe it. Why that word?
Because it is an exploration. We're in a society today that, for the most part, does one or two things with the whole idea of sensual or sexual interchange. I prefer to look at my work as expressions of love, and the idea of sensuality to me is about love, making love, and not necessarily intercourse, not necessarily sex for sex sake, but just the expressions between two human beings, which is a natural, healthy uh, expression. And you know, it's that's what it is, and you know, it's hard to explain, but that's what it is for me.
As I ask you these questions, it might seem like we're going over the same territory, but we just go with it and see what happens.
Mm.
Uh, what originally inspired you to do sensual work?
I love love, and I love women.
Wait, let's do that again.
Wow, did that create loving women created all
I
of
think
that,
you
huh?
overwhelmed Lily there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay, we're rolling. Let's just settle down, everyone. All right.
I'll ask you the question again.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
What inspired you to do your sensual work?
I love women and really love them, and I love the whole idea of sensuality, the joy of male and female, or I guess, you know, other people who have different persuasions. The joy of two people loving one another has always inspired me. And I guess one of the artists that I really admired for explorations of the whole idea of sensuality and sexuality is Picasso. His creativity, his, I think, daringness, very early on in my career inspired me. But the idea of love, and I think I'm always on a crusade. And in the case of my sensual work, the crusade is to open up people's minds to the idea of sex and sensuality. Is an essential human activity. It's an essential human uh, vibration, and it's been suppressed over the ages as it is today, and I think it's very unhealthy, to be quite frank with you. And I'm not just speaking about people going wild now, but the idea of people being able to love one another in a sensual way is, I think, going to be imperative as we move into the future for people's mental and physical health.
Is this an act of worship for you?
Tricky. Worship, I wouldn't quite call it worship. I would call it explorations. Um, and if exploring, explorations, I think would be a better word for me rather than worship. I worship the female spirit. The work to me is, in this particular case, just expressions and explorations, trying to find the equations and the formulas, the visual equations and formulas that perhaps will begin to open people's minds, or at least challenge them to think differently about the whole idea of interchange between male and female in a real sensual way.
Yeah, if you can try to sort of repeat my question as you start off your answer.
In a way,
Oh, oh,
mention the question,
oh.
mention what the
stand by. And we're rolling later.
Can you lock the door, please?
No, I don't think it'll allow you. You got to put something in front of it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Good luck.
Why don't you lean against it if you're sitting in the house? Nice. Okay, we're rolling.
When you do a piece like you did today, how important to you, and perhaps a way to say it is, what are you looking for? Is the experience of doing it as important to you as some finished product?
The work that I just completed, which was to me was a human interaction on the highest level. The experience, the spontaneity is as important as the finished work. The act of doing it, the act of making love, of sharing is really what it is. As I'm painting, applying the paint to the body, and that body is responding to that paint being applied to it, it then becomes a transforming and an exchange of love in my mind. And hopefully the model is feeling the same love that I'm expressing. So the act of doing it in itself is the work of art. And then of course, as I photograph this work afterwards, that then becomes a testimony in a sense, a testimony frozen. But it's all spontaneous, and I hope that as we're doing it, we are creating some special vibration, some special biological radioactivity in the universe that is speaking about freedom.
We'll follow that up a little bit more. I mean, on a piece like this, where is the art? Where is the frame? Is it part performance? Is it the body? Is it the canvas? Is it the finished? Or is it all of these?
Well, you know, this is a new experience for me. Most of the sensual works that I've done has not included performance as was today. So this has been a new experience and a wonderful experience. Amber Ray, who was the model, or my partner, I would say, she's so free and she's giving. And we had a session before we started so that we were on the same page in a sense that I let her know that what I'm going to be doing is I'm painting her as really making love to her. You know, kind of glorifying her beauty, her inner beauty, her inner beauty. Her outer beauty speaks for itself. So the paint in itself was just a decoration of the shell and the temple that she exists in. And so the performance in this case was, to me, what was really happening. And then, of course, as we went to the canvas, that was a manifestation of, again, a partnership. It's all partnership with me when you do these.
So you feel that the model is helping you in the creative act?
The model is an intricate part of the creation itself. I'm not just, and we talked about it. I said, you know, I'm not just going to be painting on you as an object. I'm expressing my love for you through color and line. And I hope that you can kind of give back in the way that you respond to that, so that we are in fact making love without intercourse, without, you know, really getting into any sexual for sex's sake, but freeing up the human spirit, which is important.
In this case, do you feel that the camera definitely affected the work? It played a role in?
Well, the camera, you know, I'm performing. I guess this is the way, you know, screen actors feel. You know, you have to really kind of perform for the camera. But I think for my first venture doing this, I was kind of able to block the camera out and focus. I was conscious that the camera was there, so I moved in, I guess, certain ways that would help the camera, yeah, hopefully. But for the most part, it was her and I expressing our love for one another, and ultimately hoping to come out with a kind of a gem.
Now you talked a little bit